No one is doing this Shadowlands flip, and the gold you can make from it is insane. Hi there, I'm Golden Routes, and today we'll be taking a look at a really good flip. You'll need to be enchanting, and you'll also need to have a jewel crafter as well. They don't need to be on the same character, but it would be really handy if they were. The key things we're looking for is lacerite ore, solium ore, phadrum ore, oxygen ore, and even the Sinvir ore. So, what we're going to do is we're going to prospect all of the lacerite ore into the gems. Then the gems, we're going to take the uncommon gems that you get and turn them into the cluster of gems. And then from there, you'll turn them into rings. One thing I'll have to mention is this is very server dependent. So please check your auction house before doing this shuffle. It may not work for you. If it does work for you, it may work really well, or it may just kind of, you know, it just might be one of those shuffles that you just do here and there. For me, it does really well. Anyways, you'll craft the rings, and you'll want to make sure you're crafting rings and not necklaces, because the rings require 1 malleable wire, whereas the necklace requires 2. The malleable wire is 9 gold per unit vendor price. So anywhere you can save gold, you'll want to. So this ring is costing me personally about 30, maybe 40 gold to make, right? And you're probably wondering, well, what's this got to do with anything? You know, if this ring's only costing you about 40 gold per unit to craft, what's that got to do with anything? I can sell these on the auction house for about 100 gold per unit. Well, you don't want to sell these on the auction house. That's not what we're looking for. The reason why you need an enchanter is because you can disenchant these. Not only can you disenchant these, but they disenchant into the Sacred Shard and the Soul Dust. You can have, or you have a chance of getting anywhere between 1 to 2 of each enchanting dust. And depending on your server, they can sell for quite a bit. On my server, the Sacred Shard is selling for almost 100 gold per unit, and the Soul Dust is selling for about 35 gold per unit. Another thing to note is, if I am correct, you have a 100% chance of getting both of these dusts. Now, whether or not you get 1 to 2, that is a different story. However, if you do the math correctly, 40 gold can turn into 130 gold, or 40 gold can turn into around 260 gold. If you do the math correct, you should see that the 260 gold is a little bit more than the 40 gold. See where I'm going with this? So, it's very, very cheap to make. And I did not include the cost of the lacerite ore. I'm only including the cost of the gems. The reason why I am doing this is because adding the cost of the lacerite ore is not really needed, because I'm taking the raw materials, turning it into more raw materials, to turn it into a gear, to turn it into more raw materials, and the total value of the ring isn't in the lacerite ore, it's in the gems that you are using to craft the rings. So, if you want to do all the math to figure out about how much you're spending on the lacerite ore to turn it into a ring, you can, but I didn't. And keep in mind that you can do this with all of the uncommon ores. So you have your Solium ore, your Oxine ore, your Phaedrum ore, and the Sinvir ore. For those who don't know much about the rings, it requires you to use one of the 4 uncommon ores from Shadowlands to craft a ring, and 2 of the cluster gems, and a malleable wire. Well, this could be very handy because it's very, very cheap to make. And I don't know what server you're on, but I can almost guarantee you that your server is going to be profiting if mine's profiting as much as it is, because one thing I have noticed is almost all the shuffles still work for any server. So I've been able to do shuffles on a server where prices are lower, but I can still do the shuffle, if that makes sense. So give this shuffle a go, and let me know how it goes. Anyways, that is all for now, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.